you are. I've been looking for you. Welcome back, wild ones, witches and all. Well, friends, it has been a while. It's been almost 6 months since my last video, that was February. But really it's been kind of 8 months whilst I've been going through what can only be described as a transitional phase of my life, like a major shift in my life. So welcome back, it's lovely to see you, and thank you for not unsubscribing and giving me time. Thank you to those who did message me as well to just check I was alive. I'm very much alive, I hope you're alive too. Yeah, it's a bit like awkward getting back into doing this, but I have been collecting videos for you the whole time. I just haven't been in a place to edit them and put them together, and I will explain a little bit about why. As always, pause in the background is of course Siggy. But what we're going to do now it's July. It is July the, hang on, let me check. I had to check then. It is definitely July the 22nd, 2026. And today I am making banana bread. Not sponsored, I wish. Because I was editing the videos and one of the videos is about banana bread. You'll get to it. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I really want banana bread. And then I thought I had these 2 old bananas. So I thought, brilliant, I'll use those up because waste not, want not. And then I went to the shops and I went to go get the mix, and I suddenly thought, what if I don't have those bananas anymore? I had this weird feeling I'd recycled them. And sure enough, after buying new bananas, thankfully, I came back and I found them in my recycling. So I should have just held on to them, but you know, it's the way that it goes, the way the banana crumbles. So, as I make, oh gosh, these are so new. I wish I had the old ones now, but I can't really get them out of the trash, can I? I left them just slightly too long, but they will be cooked, so they should be fine. But yeah, I just thought that whilst I kind of take you through the last 6 months, I needed a distraction, and that might as well be cake. So that's what we're going to do. So to start with, I am cheating and I am making a packet mix banana bread, but it's gluten-free and I really love it, and it's so simple. Basically, I've made you a little roadmap of what's been going on over the last few months, so I'm going to insert roadmap here. But basically, yeah, December happened, obviously 2025, and at the end of the year I went with my mum and her partner to Enchantment. I want to call it Enchanted, but it's called Enchantment, and it's in the county next door to my county. And basically it's a winter event where at the end of the year and sort of all through Christmas, Yule, just up to New Year, at this sort of outdoor pine forest where you can buy your Christmas trees basically. They have a big lake and they put lots of arts and crafts and very beautiful lighting all around. So you go at night time and you have, you know, warm mulled wine and hot chocolate and things, and you go and sit next to the bonfire and you see all the beautiful lights, and they make it really magical, so it's like all fairy houses and toadstools and things. So we did that in December, and then February was the last video that I made for you guys, and I intended to make another one a couple of weeks later, and I just didn't, and we'll get to that later. Obviously, you know I didn't. And then next, after February came March, and in March I went back to Glastonbury by myself. So we've got some of that in today's video. So for those of you who like Avalon, Glastonbury, King Arthur stuff, going around looking at the shops there, if you've not been there, my friends who are in Canada, America especially, Australia, I know some of you, we're going to go back to Glastonbury. And then the next day I went to a crystal fair with my mum where I saw some really rare crystals, so I can put that in the video too. Then it was my birthday. I'm 42. I believe that's the meaning of life, according to the book. And that was April, of course. Then after that, I went to Totnes in Devon, and I was thinking about where I could move to. So I'm sort of redecorating my house in May, and I'm looking for somewhere I might want to move to and live. And I went to Totnes. So I've got some clips from Totnes and Kingsbridge in Devon to share with you. I also did a forest walk with Strawberry and did a little video for you there. So I've included that in this week's video. And then June happened with the Strawberry Shesh. June happened with the famous or infamous heatwave in the UK. So I've definitely got some clips from that. I think that's quite raw footage, I will say. Strawberry, stop growling. And now it's July. So this brings us all up to date, basically, where we are now. July, where I'm making banana bread, editing all these videos and getting back in the swing of things. But a lot has been happening and also a lot has not been happening. So when I edited the videos, they were very chill. It's like an iceberg, you know, where like on the surface, it all looks quite chill, but there was a lot of transition going on inside me. And I've changed my hair colour as well. When was that? That was May. I believe that was May. No, it was the end of June. End of June, I changed my hair colour. So I've gone back to basically my natural colour now. Although actually really am grey, but shh, don't tell anyone. So yeah, so the first video that we're going to look at, we're going to go back in time. I realise we are now in summer, but we are going to go all the way back to your time, to Enchantment. But I really want to share that with you. I thought about putting it on Patreon, but I also stopped doing it. I stopped everything. I stopped making videos, but I didn't stop making music, and I'll come to that probably in my next video, maybe a little bit in this video. So let's go back in time, magical sound effects, to Enchantment. Merry little 27th or 28th or something of December.
She was one with the flowers that grow on a mountain that's bathed in the snow. She knows poison, she knows antidotes. On her horse to the river she goes, and she sang as they rode, rode, oh, oh, oh. And she sang as they rode, rode, oh, oh, oh. Oof, Spain. She's young and she's old, woven of stories our ancestors told. She's winter, she's cobwebs and cold. On her horse to the river she goes, and she sang as they child. She shapeshifts into all that is wild. She is goddess, she made mountains from stone, transforms into ravens and crows, and she sings when they float, float. Oh, oh, and she sings when they float, float.
Isn't that beautiful?
She's a mother and the earth is her child. She shapeshifts into all that is wild. She is goddess, she made mountains from stone, transforms into ravens and crows, and she sings when they float, float. Oh, oh, and she sings when they float, float. Oh, oh.
So I hope you enjoyed that little video. The song is a new song. Well, it's kind of a new song because you'll recognise it. It's obviously my theme. But yeah, I've been really musical, and I wrote that song called The Caliac, and it's about kind of the old witch that lives in the woods, you know, the witch of winter, and how she knows all the poisons and she knows all the antidotes, and she like gallops on her horse down to the river, and she sings as she does it, and that's what came into my mind. So I'm sharing that, but I'll probably do another video on that in a few weeks' time. But I thought they just did such a beautiful job with like all the decor and the crafts. And did you see the owls? The owls are beautiful. And I like the horses as well. And that octopus that was in the lake was amazing. But what I really liked was the simplicity of just all the darkness and the trees and all the little fairy lights. I just thought that was beautiful. So anyway, so then after that, I was gonna edit that video and share that with you, but I didn't. But then I did my February in bulk video and it just didn't feel like the winter video fitted into it. So I just kind of kept that there. But yeah, so then basically the February video happened, which you know, obviously have watched by now. Yeah, so then I had my birthday and, you know, I was kind of busy for that. I didn't actually include that in this video. I just had a really simple time. Went to a cafe with my father. So the next thing was I just felt like a pilgrim and I really wanted to go back to Glastonbury. So that's what I'm going to share with you next. So this next clip is when I went back to Glastonbury, and basically I'm going to show you around Glastonbury town and some of the shops. Also we go back to the apothecary and we see the piece of furniture, the apothecary, that inspired all of this. So that's where we're going to go next. here we are back in Glastonbury. It's a very noisy, busy road. So if you haven't been to Glastonbury before, it's a small town. In the town centre you've got sort of one road that goes straight through, which is the main road. And then you've got, you know, the historic sites like the Abbey. I've got a really squeaky shoe, I apologise. It's lovely to be back. I haven't been back here for months. And I grew up around here, so just every now and then when my cup feels low and depleted, this is where I go to fill the cup back up. And of course today is Ostara weekend, so it's the 21st of March today. So I thought we'd see if there's anything going on in the town, any sort of lovely window displays or maybe a parade. Unfortunately the bus was so late we might have missed it if there was a parade. I do hear drums. So for Beltane there's always a big parade and a big sort of party in the town, but maybe it's a bit more low-key for Ostara. I don't think I've done Ostara before here, which is surprising. So there's not like a lot of sort of special festival events going on today that I can tell. It's mostly healing work and some amazing buskers. So I think I've caught some drumming, tried obviously not to capture anybody's identities. Got some drumming, some amazing guitar work. Yeah, really lovely vibe. Look, this is, you'll hate it, but I loved it. These were all these different ceramic witches, and they had a ceramic apothecary, but I didn't get that. I got this one because for some reason I just loved it with the cat, and I loved like how somebody made it themselves. Because this was in the animal charity shop, and I asked like, are these new goods? And she was like, no, we got a whole set of they're all different, whole set of them donated. I'm worried I'm gonna break her, so I don't know. Let's stick her up on my weird shelf. It is looking quite witchy gradually now. And then look, this is the little tea cup and saucer set. It's a really nice patina, I believe they would call it, on the rim. And then I just love the blue and gold. I thought it was super unusual. It's not stamped. I imagine it's like, well, I think it's Victorian, but it could be 1940s. But isn't that just so pretty? When you look down, you can see still, like, hang on, let me try and arrange it. You can still see the blue poking through. But I just thought that was lovely, and I don't have any teacups. I'm always thinking of getting a teacup from the Abbey Tea Rooms. I never do, and even though I can't afford it, and I shouldn't, I just felt this strong urge to buy this one because I loved it, and it's almost got little heart-shaped petals actually, as I look at it more closely. And I just thought every time I look at it and after it's gone, it will remind me of happy times, because my birthday's coming soon and we would all go together, and I think it was thinking of that got me. I just know that that's never going to happen again. And I looked at the Abbey from the Abbey Tea Rooms, and that was it. I just welled up with tears and couldn't stop crying, which was kind of embarrassing. But yeah, I think it's dear. £10 for that is very reasonable. The music was so beautiful that day, all the drumming, the buskers did an amazing job. Obviously I couldn't share too much of that because it is other people's copyright, but it was so beautiful. So I hope you got a good flavour of it, and if you've never been to Glastonbury before and you're curious and you like that part of my video, I hope that you did enjoy that and it was nice and relaxing. So you'll notice at the end of that video, I'm talking a bit about the things that I bought, and I'm talking about the cup and saucer, and I edited a little bit of it out because I didn't want to include people's names. But basically, as you probably already are aware if you've watched my videos, a member of my family has been diagnosed with cancer, and that was at the end of last year, and that really affected me. They're a very significant person in my life, they're a very special person to me, and they didn't have a lot of time. They're actually still with us, which is amazing, and they're living well. But at some point this year, it's predicted that, you know, they will pass away. And I was basically working around the clock. I was making my videos in my spare time, and I was working very, very hard in my job, which is quite a serious job, a legal job, the rest of the time full time. And then of course, you know, Ziggy had been bitten by the neighbour's dog, and yeah, just it was kind of like October happened, and with Ziggy being attacked, and then the diagnosis around that time of my family member's illness, and various other things. It was almost like all of a sudden, after the point that I bought my telescope, which was such a joyful moment in my video, that was the last moment I remember feeling at peace and happy before everything just went very chaotic and quite hard. So basically, yeah, I felt like I had a big decision to make, and I actually left my job for a time so that I could spend more time with my family, because I knew I'd never get that time back. And what I thought would happen was that I'd do that for say 3 or 6 months, and during that time I'd be really creative with my YouTube videos, and I'd fill my time partly with that as well. But that didn't happen because I think it was the process of having the pre-grief and just this pure exhaustion from the very inside of me that I can't describe, that I have never felt before. And I do have chronic fatigue syndrome. I've had that since I was 15, so I'm very aware of fatigue, but this was like every bone, every organ in my body was screaming for rest. So I rested, and I thought, well, I'll just rest for a month then. And another month went by, another month, and I ended up needing about 3 months of complete rest to restore myself completely. And by the spring I thought, oh, I'll perk up in spring when the sun comes back. But that didn't really happen either. And it wasn't depression, it was definitely pre-grief, which isn't something that people talk about very much. So I want to mention that in this video, that if you've experienced that, I completely understand. And it is really hard. But you know, at that point I couldn't really talk about it. If I did, I would get choked up. And the rest of the time I wasn't even thinking about it. I was so busy with work, I wasn't really processing the events that were about to happen. So basically, yeah, that kind of happened. So when I went to Glastonbury by myself, that's like a special place for my family and me. And I was kind of nostalgic. And at the end of the video, I'm talking about the cup. I'm saying that when I see that cup, I'll think of my family member. And I was saying how, you know, when I looked out upon the Abbey, you know, I burst into tears. And I wanted to share that, and I kept that in because it was actually a recording that I sent to my mum. But I just think that it kind of describes what pre-grief is like. Like, it can be very nostalgic, and the funniest things would trigger me. So, you know, being sat there in a restaurant I love and I'm happy in, it's my happy place, and I often go there on my own. I don't always go there with family, but all of a sudden I was overcome by the memories and the reality that, like, we were never all going to be together in that place ever again, you know. And having gone there for decades, it hit me. But now I can talk to you about it, and I can talk about it. At that point, I still couldn't speak about it. So that cup that I bought, which I have over on the shelf with the little witch, is, you know, really sentimental. And on that journey I saw a poster for a crystal fair, and so that is the video I'm going to share with you next, as I went there with my mum.
Almost looks like a little butterfly on the angle. Then you angle it a different way, it's like it disappears.
It's a smoky colour.
It's quite pale one.
So beautiful.
I'm very delicate, so I might not be able to show them. You like this one? Yeah. That one will be quite sparkles. That. Do you know what they call this? Fool's gold.
Oh, look at that heart.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, I like it. I like this. Lovely. thought it was really heavy. I used to find pieces of, I think it's obsidian, literally just, you know, places like not Charterhouse, you know, a bit more like this stuff. But I love just absolutely beautiful. Oh my god, I think I fall in love. So this is how it gets when it's almost ready to go into the tin. It wasn't looking like this, but I added oat milk. That's my secret, and it should be really good. I'm going to add chocolate chips as well. These are a real treat, so I definitely don't want to use all of them. Yeah, that's enough, because I love putting them on fruit. They're dark chocolate as well, so great for antioxidants, great for women with their hormonal fluctuations, because that's also something that's been part of my journey over the last 6 months. Honestly, as I go into perimenopause, I've really found it quite hard. Perimenopause is really hard. And it's not showing my bloods yet, or I should get my bloods redone, but I got sick of dealing with medical services and the GPs, and I just found them so awful. But you know, the symptoms are all definitely perimenopause. I know it's perimenopause, and the women around me have been guiding me through it. But basically, it made me really tired, and at the same time, I had my annual thyroid check, because I do have a underactive thyroid. I've had that since I was 15 when I had my ME as well. And basically, as I suspected, my ferritin store levels were extremely low. They're at a 12, and they're still low now. And this is a few months ago. So, you know, one of the reasons I've been so exhausted is related to hormones, stress, overworking, and low iron, although not anemia yet. So yeah, that was another reason why I took time out. And I did think, how much will I share with you all? But I actually think it's very important to not have the gloss on videos, to actually share what really happens in life, because these are things that are affecting a lot of women, and I believe that women still aren't being heard, and their medical sort of services really aren't up to scratch, and diagnosis still isn't really up to scratch. So that's why I'm mentioning it here. But I'm lucky because on my channel I have, you know, male and female viewers, and I feel like you're all very understanding, basically. What am I looking for? Oh yeah. I feel like I have the support of all genders, however people identify. I don't feel like this is just about biological women, but I think it is an important subject. So yeah, I mean, let me know in the comments, obviously, only if you feel comfortable, if you sort of relate to what I'm saying about that, because it's different for everybody, and it has been quite an individual journey. I've got a close friend and we talk a lot about it, but you know, it's still kind of, their symptoms are different to my symptoms and stuff. So I think even though this is essentially a pagan witchy channel, it's not like you're being pagan and witchy all the time. You know, you're kind of like a regular Joe, aren't you? And then you get your candles out and stuff. But I think what I want this channel to be is to be about the real life for pagan, and also some of my silly moments and my weird creative moments, because I need that out there, quite frankly, especially when I'm working. But you know, we're not sort of like Baba Yaga in our own little hut, are we, on a one chicken leg most of the time. If you are, fair play to you, because that sounds like it rocks. But for me, no, I'm often like paying my bills, or struggling to pay my bills, or you know, doing stuff around the house, and it's not too Baba Yaga a lot of the time. And I kind of get to be Baba Yaga when I make these videos. So this video is a bit more down to earth, isn't it? I hope you're not going to find it really too real and all just very boring. But so I'm going to put this mixture in now. I'm making the worst shaped receptacle, like with the putting the baking paper in. I've really not focused at all because I'm talking. This is why I don't drive. Could you imagine? Yeah, I'm just going to pour this in and hope for the best. So I'm mixing in the chocolate buttons. So the crystal fair was great. It was so beautiful. And one of the things that I really loved was that apophyllite at the end. And some of the really big crystals, you know, like those big crystal skulls were amazing. But how strange, isn't it, that I chose the Kundalini crystal, and I only realised when I was editing that that was like related to the oracle card I got the day before. Oh, I've really messed this up. It's gonna be a right pickle. So yeah, I did ask my mum's permission in case any of you wonder about, you know, including her in the video, but she's like, yeah, that's fine. So that's my mummy, and I did get my passion for sort of psychic stuff and tarot and crystals from my mum, although she doesn't do that stuff too much now. It's still nice to have some moments where we share that together, and that was a really lovely moment. So, right, what's next on the agenda? Yeah, so then I took myself to Totnes because I was looking for somewhere to live, basically. You know, I've been wanting to move and I wanted to use the time to decide on a location. And I'd seen really lovely houses and images of Kingsbridge, which is just down from Totnes. So that was a really long day that I did without the dogs. And basically I travelled on the train and then the buses. And I actually loved Totnes and I wish I stayed there longer, but I went to Kingsbridge, which, sorry if you're from Kingsbridge, but I did find it a little bit boring, mainly because everything's covered in scaffolding, you poor things. So the whole town is just covered in scaffolding. But there's a lot of history there, and Totnes was quite quirky. It had a lot of kind of independent shops and Whole Foods and history and museums and freaky people in costumes in the museum. I thought, no, I can't deal with the mannequins, but it was a beautiful, beautiful little town. Really steep, a lot of walking, so pretty, just a lovely little place. I don't remember being there before, but apparently my dad did take me when I was younger. So I went to Totnes and then I went to Kingsbridge. So I'm going to show you the clips from that now. So it's going to be like a little Devonshire town, and then and it's really pretty, and then it's going to be the bus journey and then over to Kingsbridge, where it's like a little coastal kind of village. And then I'll see you for banana bread, hopefully. Just had a lovely coffee. I've been travelling for a few hours now and it poured with rain, which was planned because I knew that by the time I got here it would have stopped. But still, it is quite tiring when you're travelling on trains and buses, and you've got big cars and vans and lorries that don't slow down, that aquaplane you on bus stops. So I decided when I got to Kingsbridge I was going to find a coffee, and I found this nice little cafe called Fika, Swedish themed cafe, and had a lovely oat milk latte and chocolate and banana bread, which apparently you can toast. I had it untoasted, but I've never toasted my banana bread before. But apparently that's quite nice, so maybe that's a usual thing. Maybe it's a Kingsbridge thing, a Devonshire thing, I don't know, maybe it's a Swedish thing. Let me know in the comments. But here we are, sorry for the wobbliness. I do love little coastal skylines, you know, without the big city life. And the boats, it's a real change from living in the town like I usually do, or the cities like I've done before. A very noisy crow up there.
Interlocking colours and that, like browns and
They do, they make little rainbows as soon as the sunlight hits them. It's beautiful.
So then after that, the weather started to get so much nicer. It was really strange editing the video seeing rain, because I haven't seen rain since that time, and it's now July. And that's like genuinely a concern. Like seriously, this climate change stuff is real and we need to really change how we're living our lives. But until the big companies, you know, make changes, I don't think we're going to see a lot of change. You know, it seems to be very much on an individual level, and we don't seem to be working across the globe on this problem. But basically, yeah, that was like the last rainfall really that I've seen or experienced, and it was a really wet day. And then the sun came out and I was like so pleased. So I took Strawberry to the forest. So I'm just going to share some clips of that with you now as well. Robbie, go on, Devon. Go on, Straws. Yeah, I'm not going to meet you. You go in. You go in. quite tired. I don't know what's happened to my hair, but me and Strawberry, we have been walking quite a while. Just found a lovely spot to sit down. I was looking for my natural place to sit down where there's a big log, but they've moved it. I don't know how you can move a big log. Maybe it just apported away. But I love this time of year because it's before all the wasps come and the hornets generally. I did get chased by a hornet in this very location on this bench once. It was massive, it was like this big, and that was really frightening. No idea if I'm allergic, but I always think I am. But check out this view. It looks stormy today, it's really heavy and muggy. But according to the weather report, it's not gonna rain for about another 12 hours, so we should be okay. Strawberry isn't usually off the lead because she has a tendency to bolt. But she's 3 now, so I thought I'd see how she does, and she's been brilliant. We met this lovely lady and she gave me these tiny sausages. I think I've got one left. And she said to me, this is what I did with my border terrier. I bought these tiny little cocktail sausages and she'll always come back. This is the last one. She's been in the lagoon. I prepped her coat for it actually, and I gave it a good cut, so it's quite close now. But this time she didn't want to go all the way into the lagoon like she did on Halloween. So it's typical, isn't it? When she's not got her jumper on and she's all ready and preened, she decides not to do it. It's just nice to see her getting to be a dog, you know, not be on the leash. I think we all feel like that. We're all a prisoner in different areas of life, I feel. So I basically got up this morning, took out my other dog for a little walk, had a shower, and then that was it. I straight away packed our lunch. So Strawberry and I haven't had anything to eat yet today, so I made myself a packed lunch, saving money, water for the hydration, and of course biscuits for Straws. Biscuits. Strawberry. There's your section, okay? Yeah? Go. Strawbisky. I bet you're full of sausages now. Strawberry. No, she's like, no thanks. I've been given sausages today, she says. She had sardines last night, so to be fair, she's done very well this week, I think. Poorly constructed cheese and tomato sandwich, but There's a tree over there with really magical leaves, fairy leaves. This is how random I am. I ran out of butter this morning. Well, I had more in the fridge, so it was rock hard, so I couldn't put it on my bread. So I used some mayo. And I just found in my backpack, of all things, a really old butter pat. Because I save everything. I forage, and if I find little freebies in cafes and stuff, I take them. I usually put them in the fridge, but obviously I neglected that one, but I think it'll be pretty horrible now, it'll be rancid. I don't know about you, but I feel like eating outdoors always makes things taste a lot better. This is like one of my favourite portable unhealthy snacks. I don't know if you have them in America, but I'm always interested in watching those programs from America about American snacks. And it just occurred to me that normally I would keep this secret that I ate this. But tell me, do you have these? This is not advertising. Obviously I'm not sponsored. It's actually packed full of sugar, I believe. But I like this one. I love the cookies and cream flavour. They're great if you're going for a day out because they're chewy and give you like a lot of energy. It's like my guilty pleasure. She's seen a dog. Her eyebrows. Straws. She's quite a good guard dog for such a little lady. I think there are just places that you go to when you want to recharge your batteries or get in touch with nature, and this is like my favourite place now. I just hop on a bus. It's £1 for a bus journey. And then I'm here pretty much, usually by myself. Depends what time you come. Sometimes I can have the whole place to myself. Sometimes there's a couple of dog walkers. Spend a good couple of hours out here, sit with nature, and bring the dogs with me. Although Ziggy doesn't really like it, so that's why I just bring straws. Also, it is quite warm, and she copes well in the warm weather, and he really doesn't. He could literally have he would collapse or something. So I have to be super careful with Ziggy. Yeah, it's just, we all have our favourite places, don't we, where we can come and really just breathe. And this is mine. I'm not particularly good at foraging, but I do think this is a viburnum. And I just looked these up because they're beautiful. Look at the colour of that. But they cannot be eaten raw. Apparently they're usually cooked and made into jellies and jams. So there we are. Although I still wouldn't try one, just in case I'm incorrect. But I do use the Google image lookup, and I always include the leaves, not just the berries, because usually those sort of leaf finder things go by the leaves, and the berries sort of help the AI, but AI can be wrong. I do think that's probably correct in this case. It's quite a big bush actually. And in between time, I'm also like trying to paint my flat because I really want to kind of get the colour to a boring shade, because I'm like got a little bit of kind of like old-fashioned nostalgic old lady chic, I think. And I need to get it back to like white colours basically. So I started to paint my flat, and then the heat wave happened, the heat bowl. And like nothing can prepare you for a heat bowl in the UK. And basically there was a dome, heat dome, over the town that was next to me. So when you see it on the news, I was in the epicenter of this heat dome. And I think that it was heat that's coming up from the Sahara, and it was getting caught, pocketed over the south of England mainly. And usually we don't get a lot of summer at all down this way, but all of a sudden we go from what was like 21 degrees and we're all wearing our cardigans to it being 38 degrees outside. And literally it was like opening your oven door, and the way that it feels, that is what it was like opening our windows. It was deadly. I think at one point 4,000 people died in the heat waves across Europe and the UK. I don't know the current statistic, but it was very, very serious. There were a lot of drowning deaths because people were so desperate to cool down. There was a lot of people on the internet mocking us in this country for saying that we were struggling. But our homes are built to retain the heat, and that's in my video, so I won't go into that too much. But it's not like hot countries. We have very heavy, muggy heats, and we have houses, as I say, that are built with insulation. So basically inside it was 38 degrees, and outside it was 38 degrees. And you know, afterwards I went out into the garden, I found dead mice that were desperately trying to get some shade that would just perish in the garden. I'd never seen things like that before. My dog nearly died. I collapsed a load of times. It was serious. I'm not even representative of the most vulnerable. But because I have ME, it means my hypothalamus doesn't work properly, and that's the part of your brain that regulates temperature. So I was significantly unwell during that heat wave. And then I had very bad anxiety because we were told we were going to get another one. And then the papers started to clickbait about heat waves. And so I just tried to kind of prepare again for the next heat wave. And I'd already tried to prepare for this one. But family helped me to get an air conditioning unit and to get like a fake window where you put the hose out, to help the dog mainly, and then to help me not having to be up all night with the dog, because I was getting 1 hour's sleep a night if I was lucky, night after night after night, without exaggeration. And that was basically, you know, knocking me over as well. So that was a very stressful, serious time. And then I felt ill for several weeks after, so I couldn't do any filming then. And so time continued to roll on. And then we've had various heat waves since, but nothing as bad as that, basically. So I didn't get to finish painting my house. I've still got to do that because that kind of stopped everything. I ended up with lots of ants coming in the house, all the animals, all the spiders, everything just came in because the insects didn't want to be outside anymore. But I had lots of ants coming into the house, desperate for food and water. So constantly trying to get rid of the ants. Because I have dogs, I couldn't put any insecticides down, so apple cider vinegar, very liquid all the time. Yeah, it was intense and quite horrible. Honestly, we are in such a heat wave in the UK, up to 38 degrees. But then this. If anyone is ever doubting that we are in climate emergency, just have to look outside now. Just so tired. A 4-hour sleep a night because our homes just aren't prepared for this kind of heat. And you know, anyone who has like 35 degree summers, 36, 37, 38, up to 40 or more, probably think I'm crazy, but in the UK we're just not prepared. Our houses are built because of our winters to keep our heat in. So it's like entombing yourself in your apartment. There was a flash. Don't know if you saw it in my glasses. We're gonna have this for another 2 days at least. It's mad. What do you make of it, Ziggy? A bit soggy, aren't you, boy? Yeah. Don't like it. Don't like it. I think strawberry's hidden. Rumble. It's alright, precious. It's alright. You had a nice tea though, didn't you? Oh, you had a lovely dinner. Yeah. What do you think about that? Is it crazy? Yeah. There's something very dramatic about this solstice. I haven't felt like this is the solstice. That's why I haven't made a video. I felt very strange. Like there's a strange energy of chaos in all matters. Our Prime Minister resigned today. So in the UK we're having yet another change of Prime Minister. It's like on all levels there is just chaos, financial chaos, political chaos, climate chaos, you know, external chaos which becomes your personal chaos. But it didn't mention any thunder and lightning today at all. It said a 40% chance of rain, and it's a little bit of rain at lunchtime. There was no rain. I looked outside and it was blazing sunshine. 31 degrees at that point. And it's gotten, I think, as far as 32, 33 today, and then it's going to go up to 35 tomorrow, and then 38 or 39 over the next 2 days following that, which is insane. But yeah, like it mentioned thunderstorms on Friday, which Tuesday. So I'm not sure. I'm not really trusting our government's weather reports at the moment either. Do we really know what's going on? It doesn't feel like in this country we've got a grip anymore. It's all fraying at the edges. It is the tower card in the tarot. Let's just hope the star's coming soon, eh? This is my drink. I'm loving this. My new cups, by the way. Can you see? It's a little shark. And as you drink your drink, the shark obviously appears more, but you just get like a fin. Tell you, special effects. Do you like it, Straubs? Yeah.
Definitely, this is really worth paying attention. Let's have a
Day 3 of the heatwave. It's been up since 5 AM. It's about 8 o'clock now. About 7:30, I think, actually. And the key is getting up early, so I've had 3 hours of proper sleep, and I dozed a bit. The main thing is I just want to make sure my animals are okay. Yeah, it's just absolutely shattered. I've had 7 hours sleep over 2 days, but we've got another 3 days to go. Yeah, today, tomorrow, and the next day. I know you're getting a bit of the breeze. Yeah, is that nice? Careful. Supervision only. So you lie down. Lie. That's it. Right, Ziggy Boosh. Yeah. No. Oh. Recovery. Oh, it's a surviving meal in the UK heatwave. It's the last day of it. It's the last day of it. I've melted. I feel like at the end of Terminator, when Terminator 2, when he disappears into the lava and all you see is his thumb. That was like me yesterday. 36 degrees, 37 degrees. Ziggy nearly didn't survive, so I've been up since 3 AM with him. The first 3 days I had 6 hours sleep across 3 days. finally got some sleep last night when it cooled off. My mum has sent me this food because I'm still too weak to go out, and don't want to turn the oven on. So everything I've got that I could cook is ovenable. Proof that I'm British, even though my accent changes sometimes. God, I don't normally have fish and chips. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's so good. And then this green stuff is mushy peas, which when I was a kid I hated them, but I loved them. Just like boogers. So good. It's not the same as just getting peas and then blitzing it. And you have it with your chips normally. But that's like the English classic thing, and then you have a cup of tea, but I won't be having a cup of tea on a day like this. The Coca-Cola for me. Woo! Survived the heat wave. Not looking good. Not looking good. But I nearly collapsed several times. And this is what it looks like when you're being basically inside an oven. It's like, when it got to the point yesterday where it's 35, 36 degrees, it was 29 degrees inside my flat. You've got to keep all your windows shut, your curtains shut, because when you open it, it's 10 degrees hotter outside. And it hits you like a wall, like when you open your oven. It's funny, I've just been watching stuff on YouTube and TikTok, and that's exactly what people are saying. This is like a survivor's meal. I can't believe I made it through. I can't believe the dogs are still alive. Strawberry did well, Ziggy really struggled. I nearly lost him about 3 different times. It was really scary, really scary. I was up at 5 AM last night. Sorry for the just general ugliness of this moment, but this is real life in an English heatwave. I'm doing this so when I one day watch my video back, I'll remember just how bad it was. I can't remember what I was saying because I'm so frazzled. God. There are literally videos of people's roads, the tarmac melting and it poking it, and the tarmac lifting off the street. My mum said that happened at the college and someone's bike just fell over because the road melted. If you go to the supermarket to get a bit of AC, air conditioning, and then you cool off to go get some ice cream while you're there, all the refrigerators have broken down. Yeah, it's insane. Then we were told we're having thunderstorms and might have power cuts. If I'd lost the fans, I don't think the dog would be here. And I would have lost him. That was like the scariest thing, was his heat exhaustion. You can't get him to a vet because he's got to go through even more heat to get to the vet. Last night I thought he was going to die in my arms. It was not a joke. And that's why I look like this. I'm okay with it. You know, when you've been going since 3 AM all the way through, basically looking after the animals. But I had help from family, thank goodness, on a few hairy moments. But yeah, I think we're all celebrating tonight. Oh. Now you guys know what this normally looks like, but it's like a disaster zone in here. Because over the last 4 days, I think it was 4 days, I have had to move my living room around all the time. We've had the dogs in my bedroom. We barricaded ourselves in there yesterday with the AC. Only the fitting thing over the window didn't work properly. So we had hot air coming in as well as the AC. So we gradually cooked like in a convection oven. And just stayed in like the channel of this. Just like doing what Ziggy's doing, trying to stay cool with him elevated on the bed in front of it. I've had to move everything around just so that we could survive, and then I've been so tired I haven't been able to do anything more than the absolute basics of taking care of us, and somehow stayed on top of the washing up. It still says 27 degrees inside, but yeah, starting to look. So you've got dog food in my room. The apothecary turned into a zone for everything. Spare changes of clothes. Unfortunately, it has had a little bit of water damage, but I'm putting olive oil on that at the moment. There's a trick. If you ever don't have furniture stuff, or you don't want to use it because it's smelly, and you get a water ring, immediately dry it, pat it dry, and then just put some olive oil on it and massage it in, and most of it will heal straight away. That's all I've got left because it was a big rectangle. I was halfway through painting my hall when all this started, so it's quite nice, isn't it? I'm getting it ready for moving, and then oops. That's like all the paint that I use, and then typically I just didn't have enough to do the edges, so I had to get another can, so I've got to do that soon. Oh yeah, this is where I taped up to block the sunlight out so that the hallway would be cooler for the dog. It's not as gross as it looks. This is from the water of the AC. You're right, sweet doggy bears. Yeah, you did so good. You're such a brave boy. Yeah, a vloggy camera. Ooh. It's like this, isn't it? This is my Heatwave camera star. I've just got my lipsticks out of the fridge because they had melted. Actually, one of them held up really well. It would be a lipstick. But yeah, it's weird stuff that I've been doing. I've been living off of overnight oats, and so have the dogs. I've been living off of pumpkin powder, chilled like a sorbet in the fridge. Lots of electrolytes, and also dates. 1 or 2 a day to, every time I was going to faint from low blood sugar. I've had everything: low blood sugar, low blood pressure, low electrolytes, no sleep, low everything. But 1 or 2 of these really helps. So it's not as bad as I thought. I think they've started to fill everything up. You can see everyone's gone for the ice, and I don't even know what that was. Oh, it's all the frozen fruit. I guess a lot of smoothies. People must have been having smoothies. Remember this for the next heat wave, if you like frozen fruit. And then, yeah, just where all the ice things are. I really want some ice cream. You can see which are the favourites. Magnum's gone pretty well. Dark chocolate ice is the way to go. Hooray! It's a beautiful day. I'm just visiting my mum with the dogs, and we're going to go to the duck ponds, but it's near a big canal, so there's some, you know, unsightly bits like pylons, but yeah, just lovely in the summer holidays after the heat wave to actually get outside. Being careful with the dogs, of course, but it's pretty shady most of the way, and we're going to see some nice wildlife. So you're welcome to come with us. It's very, very lush. I think the bees are in luck along here. The river looks quite muddy, slow. Little blackberries. Big trumpet ones. I don't know if you have this, my Canadian and American friends, but you have to have a shopping trolley abandoned on the side of the path. In the UK, it's just a thing that you see a lot, unfortunately. I hope for those of you that are maybe not able to get out that much, or perhaps haven't been to the UK, I do hope like just these little bits of video are sort of a bit of escapism. We've got some nice graffiti here. Honestly, most of it's beautiful, but unfortunately where there are people, there is unfortunately litter and vandalism. But out here nature tends to win, you know. It doesn't matter how much we build around it, nature does seem to kind of become very overgrown. We had very cold winters, very wet winters, really wet this last one, and now we've had the hottest summer on record, and the hottest one since I think 1977. So we have these extremes at the moment, and nature is fighting back. So what we want to do is get over here where there's a pond. Yes, so it is lovely to be talking to you. I've missed you and I've missed making these videos, but I just really needed to take a break, and I just had this strong calling to stop and to just drop everything, so that's what I did. I just found all these teeny tiny green blackberries to be. I just think they look so cute. Look at them all clustered together. It won't be long before they are all in bloom and ready to be picked and put into crumbles. And you can see these ones are already starting to change colour. I wonder if we go farther along if they'll be where all the blackberries are. Yep, so then here we've started to get some blackberries. So Strawberry doesn't know where we're going, but she's excited. The tail. But this is where the lily pond is, and I want to show you the lilies. There we are. Sometimes there are geese and swans here, but it's just us today. But look at those lovely lilies. Aren't they beautiful? It does make me think of the story of the lotus. It's really hard to tell you this story because I keep bumping into people and I don't want them on camera. Obviously to protect their privacy. But yeah, story of the lotus is really important, I think, when you're going through a difficult time. And I often think of it when I'm sort of in the darkest part of my life, how, you know, because we do, don't we? We have these moments of dark night of the soul where everything seems to be going wrong. And in those moments, I do like to think of that story and how basically we really need that time. Sort of almost like the moon card in the tarot, where you're kind of in this fetal mode, almost like incubating in the darkness. And then there's that period where the transition happens, where you're pushing up through the silt, like the flower, through the darkness gradually to come up to the light, and then you bloom. And I just think that's a really powerful metaphor. Maybe I sound very airy-fairy and pretentious, but it's always worked for me, so that's what I thought of when I saw these beautiful lilies. Yeah, it's a bit of a breeze, so we're going to head back now. And basically that brings us up to now. So now is July, July the 22nd, I think I said. And I suddenly felt I really wanted to put a video together. And at the moment I'm still in limbo. I've got like 1 foot in one part of life and 1 foot in the last part of life. And I know there's going to be a lot more transitions this year, as I say, with family that will depart, and going through that experience, which fills me with anxiety. There's the further heat waves this summer, and there's the fact that I really need to move from this flat. Like, it's just not a good environment for us. It's gotten a lot more rough around where I live as well, I believe, and that's something that I need to do, and that's something I was mentioning a few videos ago. But obviously I couldn't move because I chose to pause my work I've got new contracts starting in 2 weeks with work, so that's going to be a big deal as well. I'm quite excited about it, but it's still up in the air as we speak, and I can't speak any more about that right now. So I'm just looking after being with the dogs. I'm going to show you Ziggy because he looks so cute. So Ziggy's stolen Strawberry's house. Look at him, snuggled up, so cute. And then we've got Strawberry next to the air conditioning unit. Super curly because I washed her yesterday. What are you doing with your paws, darling? You're so beautiful and cute. I love you. Little toe beans. Beautiful man. So yeah, there's been an awful lot going on, and I hope that you've, there you are. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. It has been a while. I feel kind of like shy to talk to you about it all, and I hope I've done okay, but I hope that you're all well. I have missed you. I have missed making the videos, and thank you if you've watched all this way. Thank you for watching all the way through. I don't know if I'll be back next week. I don't think it will be next week. I think it'll be in a couple weeks time, but you know, I kind of know what my next video is going to be. I did say I was going to do a video on doing a budget apothecary, getting all your herbs together and stuff, and I've really been thinking about it, especially due to the economic crisis, especially in this country, and also the fact that I've been out of work. So I will make that video, but it needed a bit more thought, and sort of life took over, and it steered me down a different kind of waterfall, I suppose, and I've been on these rapids. So one of the reasons I didn't make my video is because I kept thinking, oh, I said I'd make it about this, and I realised I don't think this video is meant to be about that. I think it's meant to be about real life. So that will come at some point, and I might fit it into the next video. But I would like my last video of this series, episode 22, to be about what I've really been doing over the last few months, which has been a very creative project related to music. So I'm going to leave it there. I say wild wishes to you wherever you are. And, you know, I hope that you're all really well. Thank you for supporting the channel. And yeah, if you like this video, please like if you like, and subscribe if you vibe. Bye guys. Steaming, it's literally straight out of the oven. I couldn't make this earlier because the ants would have got it. I'm still not going to toast it though. I'm just going to put butter on. Lovely. Gosh, that's really lovely. That is genuinely better than I remember. Cheers.